Hello viewers, so today in this video I will give you the solved question answer of MEG10 means English Studies in India. If you have any kind of assignment, just write down the course and papers in the comment box. I will definitely try to make videos on them. So these are the questions of English Studies in India. Let's see the answers. So the first question is, would you agree that the social reform movements in India contributed to the institutionalization of English studies? Discuss. Answer: yes. I would agree that the social reform movements in India contributed to the institutionalizations of English studies. The social reform movements in India came about in the 19th century as a response to the oppressive practices of the British colonial rule. These movements aimed to bring about social and cultural reforms in Indian society and promote education among the masses. As a result, English education began to be seen as a means to empower Indians to challenge the colonial rule and assert their rights. The establishment of universities such as Calcutta University, Bombay University and Madras University in the mid-19th century played a significant role in institutionalizing English studies in India. These universities introduced English as a subject of study, and as a result, the teaching of English became a formal and organized discipline in India. The social reformers of the time, such as Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Swami Vivekananda, also played a crucial role in promoting English education in India. They believed that knowledge of English would enable Indians to interact with the British and challenge their rule. As a result, they established schools and colleges that taught English along with other subjects. In conclusion, the social reform movements in India played a significant role in institutionalizing English studies in the country. They recognized the importance of English education in empowering Indians and challenging the colonial rule. As a result, English education became an essential part of the Indian education system, and it continues to be so to this day. Second question: why do you think Michael Madhusudan Dutt stopped writing in English and he started writing in Bengali midway through his career as a writer? Answer: Michael Madhusudan Dutt was a Bengali poet and playwright who is known for his works in both English and Bengali. He started his career as a writer in English and gained recognition for his poetry and plays in English. However, midway through his career, he abruptly stopped writing in English and started writing in Bengali. There are several reasons why Michael Madhusudan Dutt may have made this decision. One of the main reasons was his desire to connect with his roots and write for the people of Bengal. Dutt was born and raised in a Bengali family and was fluent in Bengali. However, he wrote in English as it was the language of the colonial rulers and was seen as a symbol of prestige and power. However, as Dutt grew older, he began to feel disconnected from his Bengali roots and his people. This feeling of alienation led him to start writing in Bengali. He believed that writing in Bengali would allow him to connect with his people and their culture, and he could express his thoughts and feelings more authentically in his mother tongue. Another reason why Dutt may have switched to Bengali was the growing popularity of Bengali literature at the time. Bengali literature was gaining recognition and was seen as a means of asserting the cultural identity of Bengal. Dutt may have felt that by writing in Bengali, he could contribute to the growth and development of Bengali literature and be a part of this cultural renaissance. In conclusion, Michael Madhusudan Dutt's decision to stop writing in English and start writing in Bengali was influenced by his desire to connect with his roots and write for the people of Bengal, as well as the growing popularity of Bengali literature at the time. Next question: explain the term exploding the canon. Critically analyze what the term means. Answer: the term exploding the canon refers to the act of challenging of subverting the traditional literary canon, which is the accepted body of works that are considered to be of high literary value and cultural significance. The traditional canon has historically been dominated by works written by white male authors and has often excluded works by women, people of color, and other marginalized groups. Exploring the canon involves challenging this traditional canon by including works by writers from marginalized communities and re-evaluating the literary value of works that have been historically excluded from the canon. It involves a conscious effort to broaden the literary canon, make it more diverse and inclusive, and challenge the dominant narratives that have shaped it. The term exploring suggests a radical and transformative act, as it involves disrupting and challenging the established order of the literary canon. It also implies that the act of including works by marginalized writers will have a profound impact on the canon, causing it to expand and evolve beyond its traditional boundaries. Critics of the term have argued that exploring the canon is not enough, and that it only scratches the surface of the larger issues of systematic racism and inequality in the literary world. They argue that simply including more works by marginalized writers in the canon does not address the underlying issues of power and privilege that have historically shaped the canon. In conclusion, exploring the canon is a term that refers to the act of challenging and broadening the traditional literary canon by including works by marginalized writers. While it is a step towards a more inclusive and diverse literary world, it is important to recognize that it is only one part of a larger effort to address issues of systematic inequality and bias in the literary world. What is the importance of a Dalit consciousness in Dalit writings? Explain with examples. Answer. The Dalit consciousness is a term that refers to the awareness and recognition of the social, economic and political oppression faced by Dalits, who are considered to be the lower caste people in the Indian caste system. In Dalit writings, the Dalit consciousness plays a crucial role in shaping the themes, characters and narratives of the works. The importance of the Dalit consciousness in Dalit writings is that it allows Dalit writers to assert their identity and voice their experiences of oppression and marginalization. It also enables them to challenge the dominant narratives and representations of the Indian caste system, which have historically been shaped by the upper caste writers and intellectuals. Dalit writers often use their writings to expose the caste-based discrimination and violence that Dalits face in their everyday lives. They also highlight the struggles and resistance of Dalits against the oppressive caste system. Through their works, Dalit writers seek to create a sense of solidarity and empowerment among Dalits and challenge the dominant perceptions of the Indian society. For example, the works of Dalit writers like B.R. Ambedkar, Mulk Raj Anand and Om Prakash Valmiki explore the themes of caste-based discrimination, oppression and violence. They use their works to expose the injustices and prejudices faced by Dalits in Indian society. In his autobiography Jhuthan, Om Prakash Valmiki writes about his experiences of growing up as a Dalit in rural India and the discrimination and violence he faced. Similarly, in his book Annihilation of Caste, B.R. Ambedkar critiques the caste system and its impact on the lives of Dalits. In conclusion, the Dalit consciousness plays an important role in Dalit writings as it enables Dalit writers to assert their identity and voice their experiences of oppression and marginalization. It also allows them to challenge the dominant narratives and representations of the Indian caste system and create a sense of solidarity and empowerment among Dalits. Next and the last question of this video. Examine Said's definition of Orientalism. Do you find any flaws or loopholes in his argument? Discuss. Answer. Orientalism is a term coined by Edward Said in his book Orientalism. According to Said, Orientalism is a way of representing the East, the Orient in the Western imagination. It is a set of assumptions, stereotypes and generalizations that are used to construct a particular image of the East as exotic, mysterious, and inferior to the West. Said argues that Orientalism is a form of power that has been used by the West to dominate and control the East. While Said's definition of Orientalism has been widely accepted and has had a profound impact on post-colonial studies, there are some criticisms and limitations to his argument that need to be considered. One of the main criticisms of Said's definition of Orientalism is that he tends to see the West and the East as monolithic entities, ignoring the diversity and complexity of these regions. Critics argue that Said's definition of Orientalism is based on a binary opposition between the West and the East and tends to homogenize and essentialize these regions. Another criticism of Said's argument is that he tends to conflate different forms of knowledge production, such as academic scholarship, popular culture, and political discourse, under the rubric of Orientalism. Critics argue that this broad definition of Orientalism ignores the nuances and complexities of different types of knowledge production and their relationship to power. Furthermore, some critics argue that Said's definition of Orientalism is too focused on the West and ignores the agency and resistance of people in the East. They argue that Said's definition overlooks the ways in which people in the East have contested and subverted the Orientalist representation of their culture. In conclusion, while Said's definition of Orientalism has been influential in post-colonial studies, it is not without its flaws and limitations. Critics have pointed out that his definition tends to overlook the diversity and complexity of the West and the East, conflates different forms of knowledge production, and ignores the agency and resistance of people in the East. Despite these criticisms, Said's work remains an important contribution to the field of post-colonial studies and has opened up new ways of thinking about the relationship between power and knowledge. So these are the assignment question answers of MEG10. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.